Media, coming at you guys with another video. I'm gonna give everybody a few minutes to get on in here in the chat room so we can see what y'all doing, and we'll go from there. How y'all doing today? Me myself, I'm doing good. Enjoying retirement, I'm getting ready to go be out and about in the town for a little bit. So it is what it is. Look like we got one person in the chat. Once if you get in the chat, you know, hit the likes. Do me a favor, hit the likes. Say something in the chat. Shout yourself out. Let me know you're in here. Adjust this camera a little bit. I didn't want to do this on the mobile, but since I set the schedule up on the mobile, I guess I gotta do it on the mobile. So it is what it is. So anyway, there's a lot going on as usual. Depends on what you find important. I guess the big thing now, uh, old boy Kanye is getting, you know, he's feeling the consequences of basically speaking out like he did. I mean, I salute him, but at the same time, you whenever you speak out like that, it comes with certain consequences. Not saying that he lied or said something necessarily bad. It's just it's gonna come with something, you know. So it is what it is. Let's see how it goes for him. The thing is that he's a creative, and so they can't cancel him completely. But you know, he's gonna have a whole lot of nonsense to deal with. So it is what it is. All right. So the purpose of this video today, this live stream, I want to talk about um, something that I seen on Facebook on Torah Sense. Uh, on her, Something came across my feed from Torah Sense, and shout out Torah Sense. She's a content creator that's been around for a few years, so she she has some interesting and provocative topics on her Facebook page. And one of the topics that came up was there's a pastor called by the name of Andy Thompson. I believe the name of his church is the Overcomers or something like that. Um, but he was talking about uh, if you want to keep your husband, you need to be having sex with him a lot. And he was saying why. You want to keep this man liking you, you want him to talk favorably about you, you need to be having sex with your man a lot, you know. And, I saw the video, which I agree, obviously, you know. But, I went and looked in the comments, and, the comments were interesting because you had quite a few uh, black women that took issue with what Pastor Thompson said. You know, they didn't like what he said. You know, and for whatever reason that is, that's their reason. But understand this, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to add to. Um, I'm going to add my perspective of what I didn't see in that video. This is more or less like a video commentary, what have you. If you, most of the time, men decide to uh, settle down and marry one woman, make her his wife, you know, he's depending on that woman to provide him with everything he needs, any and everything he can get from a woman for the rest of his life. That's what he's depending on. That's how that woman sells it. Because I'm pretty sure there are very few women out there that would say, well, if you need, you know, if you need sex or if you need emotional support and stuff, you can go to these other women. No, they want to be the one-stop shop for everything. So, in order to do that, you as a woman have to be willing to satisfy that man's every sexual need. You need to be able to satiate his sexual appetite any and every time he wants to do that. You know, thing is, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Then don't ask him for protection and provision. If you don't want to be that woman that satisfies that man's every sexual desire, and every emotional, his need for emotional support every time he needs it. You don't want to do that. Don't ask that man to be faithful to you. Don't ask him. Don't ask him to provide. Don't ask him to protect. Don't ask him none of that. If that's too hard to do, then don't ask him nothing. Don't ask him that. Y'all just be roommates. You pay your 50, he pay his 50. You know, and what he go do out there in the street, that's what he do, and you go do you. You know, you can, you know, what a lot of women don't understand is the minute you cut that man off after he has decided that you're going to be the one woman he gets all this stuff from, and when you start cutting him off and you start sex rationing, you have um, you've committed an infidelity. It's not sexual. You cheated. That's what it is. You cheated. And so, you really ended, if you want to be technical, you ended the marriage right there. You broke the vows right there. So, you know, you can't in good faith get mad at him for what he does after that. Especially if he's talked to you about it, several times. Really, he shouldn't have talked to you but once, if at all. But, once he talks to you, you know, and you continue in that behavior, it is barring a medical condition. Barring a medical condition. I will preface that saying if it's something medical, then hey, okay. But then it's on you to go get that fix. It's on you to go rectify that problem. If you don't do that, then it's obvious that, you know, you don't care about that man. You just want to get what you can get out of him and give as little as possible. And that's an issue. Especially so, particularly with the provision and protection piece, because on the provision side, you want this man to work for you until he dies, and hopefully has insurance and stuff that the minute he does die, he can provide for you in some capacity beyond his death. Speaking of death, that protection part, you want, if anything happens, you want that man to, um, if if needed, give his life up to protect you, even if it's something you started. You want your honor and your physical body and your reputation protected. And a lot of you are not going to say it out loud, but you want that man to be willing to die to do so. So, if that's the case, you need to be able to satisfy that man's sexual desires and his need for peace at home. Thing about it is, funny thing is, for most of these guys out here, if you give them the sex that they want, the frequency that they want, they'll forego a lot of stuff like you being able to cook, and you'll be cleaning a lot. They'll forego a lot of stuff if man she do to do. I've heard so many guys talk like this. I've seen guys stay in relationships because the sex was great. So they will tolerate a lot for great sex. But you all already know this. You know, you all already know this. So, uh, all in all, I agree with Pastor Thompson. I think what he said was right and exact. And I think if you find that to be too much, then maybe the problem is with you. The funny thing is, the funny thing is you'll go to work and you'll work for these bosses 8, 10, 16 hours sometimes. You'll go and slave for this employer and won't give your husbands 15 to 30 minutes of your time, your sexual energy. But then you expect this man to, if need be, die protecting you from the bump in the night, or die protecting you from the street thug that wants to carjack you and stuff. So you all need to figure that shit out. You ladies, you need to figure that out. You need to stop being disingenuous. And if you are not going to be that lady, you need to tell that man up front before he gets into that marriage with you. And I think what men need to do, I think men need to call it out more. I think men need to make that more public, you know. Um, you know, with the sex and especially the emotional distress. If you are constantly harassing this man, anytime he wants to go out with his friends or anything, he's afraid to be honest with you and tell you the truth about something because you're going to enact emotional terrorism, you really don't deserve that provision and protection, you know? So, and that's something to think about. No man wants to come home to a woman that's going to stress him out after he's been dealing with a stressful workplace, for 8, 10, 16 hours, you know. So you need to take that into consideration. And if you are that woman, if that man goes somewhere else to get peace, you can't be all that mad at him. You either, you know, you need to fix it. Especially, you want to keep your man. You want to keep your husband. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have to say right now on that piece. Get in the like, share, get in the comments. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down, get in the comments, and express your displeasure. you know, um, I want all the smoke. I want to understand what you guys are thinking. You know, um, you know. Uh, anyway, this is Mr. Royce Media. Share, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. I'll be coming with something sooner than later. Y'all be easy.